Grand Rising, everyone. I'm back again. It is a beautiful Sunday morning, and I'm about to enjoy a nice walk outside. Um, Love getting out in nature, especially when it's sunny out. It just helps me recharge, especially this time of year. You start to feel things like things coming back to life, or not back to life, but re-emerging right from their slumber. But anyway, so I'm brought back with a channeled message. There's someone or someones who need this message specifically. So whoever you are, I hope it reaches you. I know it's important, and it's just as simple as me sharing how I handled this particular situation in my life. So, if you've seen the last couple of my videos, my first true one was, really about our own personal connection to the divine, and me just telling you the very simple truth that we all have the ability to connect to the divine, and it's something that's innate within us. We just need to learn. We need to just realize the fact that that is a possibility, and then practice it. And I don't want to say perfect it, but really that's what it is. You perfect it, you work on it over time. As you continue to heal, continue to work on yourself, that connection becomes stronger. Your intuition becomes more, in tune, I guess you could say. I just lost my words there, so I don't know if there's somebody watching who doesn't want me to talk, but nonetheless, I'm going to reground myself. And what I'm here today to talk about is, so I talked the last time, I did want to say this, did talk last time about shame. And if you didn't watch that video, shame is a very powerful thing that really does keep us from ascending in general, and it really is very detrimental to any kind of progression, because when there's shame present, there's very, very little room for progress and moving forward and being happy. Just that's it. It just doesn't leave much room for it. So if you didn't watch that video, watch that video. And after every video, I always make the suggestion that you take 5 minutes of quiet time to yourself. Try to connect to the divine. Even if you're not in a place where you think that it's quiet enough or whatever, just know that you can always choose to quiet your mind. You can always choose to have that connection no matter what the circumstances are around you. You don't need like meditative state to connect to the divine. If your intent is to have that communication channel, you're going to have it. So just know that too. But after this video, take 5 minutes, try to connect to the divine. If you need something, if you have concerns, ask questions, and always be open to the answers that you receive after, the synchronicities that you might see afterwards, the things that jog your memory after you've asked the question that relate to your question. Those are all signs from the divine. So anyway, just wanted to bring that back full circle. But what I'm here to talk to you about today is fear. And I want to talk to you about fear because fear is, in my eyes, regardless of what the spiritualists say, it's on the very opposite end of the spectrum from love. Unconditional love is on one end, and fear and anxiety, I truly believe, are on the opposite end. And the reason why I say that is because when you're in a state of fear, you're almost incapable of feeling love, really, and never mind unconditional love. And the reason really behind that is when you have fear, for whatever reason, and I don't judge, right? Some people have fear for legitimate reasons. Some people have fear for situations they put themselves into. Some people have fear for situations they're in, circumstances they're not under their control. Which I can relate to, but it doesn't really matter what the source of fear is. it just brings you into such a state where you're not able to receive or even give love. And it also means that you're not operating in a place of love. So that means that your connection to the divine is very limited, and you can't really directly connect and get downloads and communicate with the divine. So fear is a tactic that's used a lot to keep us away from our personal connections to the divine. So I can't fix your fear problems, right? I don't know what they are. I can tell you that whatever situation you're in, I hope that you find resolution to it. I hope that the tip I'm going to give you is helpful. I hope you take it. But I truly pray that you find peace in whatever situation you might be in. But understand that regardless of what it is, you're going to be okay. So the problem I had with fear personally for a long time was really just the lack of self-love, self-appreciation, seeing value in myself. So just to, tell you a little story. So I'm just one of those people, like when a friend comes to me with some kind of issue or blockade or concern, it doesn't matter, whatever people come to me with, I just automatically, innately, I start coming up with all these solutions, right? I can help you do this, or you should do this, or you can do this. And I've got like this myriad of solutions and willingness to help them. And I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing. I now see the value of that in myself, and I appreciate that. And I don't ever plan on changing that. However, when I felt fear, I never really reached out for any assistance. I just didn't. And that's just, I don't know. I don't know why I did that. But what I have learned, and this is what I'm sharing with you, is that I'm fully capable, right? So whatever fear I'm facing, whatever problem I'm facing, just like I can help any one of my friends, family, loved ones through their tough, difficult situations, and I can, and I will, each and every time. I can do the same thing for myself. I just have to re-engage the thought patterns about my value and that I'm worth it, just like any one of my friends. Like if I can see the best, and if I can see the best in everyone, which I do, and out of that feeling and that knowing that everybody's capable of so much, and I just, that's what I choose to see in people. If I'm able to step up to the plate for each and every one of them, why aren't I able to do it for myself? And again, it was really just a lack of seeing my own value, lack of self-love. I never really attributed it to that. But when you don't love yourself and you don't value yourself, and you come up, the tribulations come your way, problems come your way, you're surrounded by a shitstorm, what ends up happening is you just curl up in a ball. And it's because you think you deserve it. You think you deserve it because you don't have that realization of how beautiful you truly are. And I say that to each and every one of you. It doesn't really matter, what your circumstances are, but you are beautiful, and you are capable of coming up with a solution. You are. And I'm going to tell you how I did it, because this was really hard for me. This is probably the most difficult one, because I've had a lot of fear mongering around me. I've had a lot of things that were triggering to me, and that I've really had to work on. So what I did, what I was guided to do, let's be quite frank here. So, the divine knowing and understanding my love for three things, very the three things close to my heart. I've said this before: kids, plants, and animals. They just are. So you mess with any of those three things, and you know, I bust into action. So like I even, it sounds stupid, but I was like, I rescued plants. Like when people would move and they were just getting rid of plants, I would go pick them up and nurture them or whatever. And in children, I've always felt this very close connection to, like, I can communicate with them, and I want them to feel safe in this world, no matter what. It doesn't even matter if I know them. If I can give them a little bit of comfort, right? It doesn't matter how big or how small that impact can be. If I can even just impact one moment in their life and just remind them that, how special they are, or that fear is really an illusion, or that they should follow their dreams, whatever it might be. If I can have any impact on that, I will. And animals, they're just, they're just God's creations, and beautiful in their own unique way. And everything on this earth has a value. Every living thing, even trees and plants and grass and a rock, even, everything has a purpose, and everything needs to be treated as such. So, as far as the inanimate objects, it's not like I don't love them, but closest to my heart are those three things. So anyway, the divine, what the divine basically said, or implied, channeled to me, when I was really sitting in a lot of my own fear and really unsure of what the fuck to do. I didn't know what to do, and I felt very alone, and I felt very vulnerable, and understand that's childhood wounding coming up for me, like where in instances where I was abandoned, felt like I wasn't worthy, felt like nobody was in my corner, and that it was my fault. I deserved it for some reason. So, I just fall into that pattern. He said, well, what if, let's just say, your 7-year-old self was sitting next to you right now, and you understood that this 7-year-old had the problem that's in your hands, that you're facing right now. What would you do? And I cried because I do everything. I do everything. So I did. Because I just want to move on to calmer waters. All right. And I'm not getting choked up because of fear. Just so you know. It's just... it's just that this actualization for you, having your 7-year-old, I don't even want to say wounded self, your 7-year-old self sitting next to you in need of help out of the situation that you're currently in. What are you going to do? What would you do? What would you do? I'm going to figure it out. And I hope you will too. If 4-year-old resonates more with you, it doesn't really matter. That's just kind of the age that was channeled to me. But I know that even just that visualization of what you're going through right now will help you move into action in the direction that you need to go in. Because it's not easy. There's something really not easy about the situation or the circumstances that you're facing, but understand, if you can't do it for yourself in this moment in time, do it for your 7-year-old self. Protect your inner child, because what we want to do through this lifetime anyway is heal our childhood wounding. And if we can think about fear and face fear in this way, we are, in fact, healing childhood wounds. We're going to be the person for ourselves that we didn't have, okay? And don't wait for somebody to be that person. Be that person for yourself. Be that person for yourself first, because you always want to love yourself first. And if you are, if you're seeking out someone, right? If there's somebody you're longing for, do it for that purpose too, because that person needs you to be whole and healed when you find them. So look inward for your support, and look inward to get through your fear, and you're going to make it. That's it. And if you have to imagine that you're helping your inner child get through the situation. I know I would never leave a child in a lurch or a situation where they couldn't defend themselves, or they weren't safe, or they didn't feel safe, or they were upset. I would make sure that they made it out the other end, no matter what. So do the same for yourself. Love yourself, right? And release. There's something you need to release too. Something you need to release. And it's not going to be easy. I don't know where the fear comes from. But again, don't do it for yourself. Take yourself out of the equation. Yeah. And you're gonna get a reward from the divine. Look, it's you've seen this before. It's the divine filling up your cup of love. Your cup of love. So again, you may be looking for somebody, right? But right now, the someone's the divine. And then he's going to fill your cup up. And once your cup's full, what can you do? You can fill up other people's cups, right? That's how it works. So put the wands down. This is a completion. You just need to put the wands down. House is right there. Pretty much home. But you have to put the wands down. Once you put the wands down, the fear goes. Those are burdens. Remove yourself from conflict. This is perceived conflict too. This is just chaos. You have choices. You have choices. There's rough seas behind you. But the point of me saying behind you is that they're exactly that. They're behind you. You might have to walk away from something. That's what it is. I think that's what you're afraid of. Okay. All right. So you're afraid of walking away, but I'm going to show you something right now. So this is you. It's actually a gray background, so it's kind of like it's a sad scene, understandably. Whatever situation you're in is understandably sad. But I want to show you. The divine kicked over 3 cups. You had 5. And yes, the divine did it. This is the message. And then, okay, so you spilled some cups. It's sad, right? But look at this cup here right at the bottom. What's in that cup? Isn't that green? That's not wine like the other 2, right? That one was poison. So, but you didn't know which one was poison. But there was 3 cups here. They all got knocked over. So 3 losses, right? So these cups represent, love, relationships, connections. So there has been a loss here, but one was poison. And you just weren't aware. So you lost something that was going to be your demise. So divine wants you to turn around, grab your 2 cups, find the bridge, conquer your emotions, which are represented by water. The bridge is going to take you over that, and then go home. But acknowledging the loss, understanding that it was necessary. You have the strength. This is you helping your 7-year-old self who's been scared, who has fear, right? This lion is scared because he's got something stuck in his teeth and he doesn't know what to do. He's the king of the jungle, but he doesn't know what to do. He's terrified. So you step outside of yourself and you do exactly what needs to be done. That's it. And you have the help of the divine because you're listening. Okay? There's a little orb. I don't know if you just saw it. The moon. What's happening right now, actually, are things are being illuminated to you that were previously not seen. This is what's causing your fear. Understandably, when all of a sudden things start to become very clear, and it's scary how much you didn't know, right? Or it's scary how your perception was misconstrued or off. It's okay. This wasn't your illusion. You were in it. You were part of it. But it's not your illusion. That you didn't cause the illusion. Let me say that. It's okay. It's scary. But there's an angel here telling you how to balance yourself. So relax. You're safe. Some people say that's the sun. I say that's an explosion. But look, you're safe. You're nowhere near it. Trust. This is your message for you. Eight. This is a message for you. To help balance you out, to understand that to get through this phase, you need to be strong for yourself and do exactly what you know you need to do. And sometimes that takes stepping outside of yourself and thinking yourself as a younger version, I don't want to say wounded, it's not true. A younger version of yourself who you know exactly what this younger version of you needs, because nobody knows you better than yourself. Nobody understands your wounding and what's causing your fear more than yourself. So be your own balance. This is your message. It'll help. There's things that you're worried. Oh. Okay, that's what's going on. So something's happening around you. There's a tower. So there's some major disruption going on around you. And you're afraid of it. I'm gonna keep going. You don't seem to be part of this. You don't seem to be part of this. You've gone within. So maybe removed yourself. But there's some kind of tower going on around you. You have an offer of love. You seem to be like role playing, talking to somebody. You must be practicing, nervous. Water sign, maybe. You might be a performer of some sign. You like to perform. But you're prepping by talking to yourself in front of a mirror, maybe. I just got to download. You're supposed to be leaving the tower behind. You don't see that you have a choice, but you do. You have a very clear choice. You do. It's clouded by the. It's not clouded. It's not being illuminated by the moon. You see, we only have like a crescent moon here. But you have a choice. You're being asked to use your intuition. I'm just waiting. Sorry. Just be patient with me. I don't like to okay, this wanted to come out before. You seem to be holding on. So you're holding on to things that no longer serve you. You're scared to let go of them. You're scared you're going to lose them. But the divine's telling you you're not going to lose them. You're actually going to get something better once you release them. But you have to release them. That's what you're scared of. That's the fear. You have to ask yourself how important those things are to you and if they're worth holding on to. That's the message. You might need to call judgment. So you can have your 10 of Pentacles. That's the truth. And that's really all I have. I needed to talk about, right at the bottom, Emperor. Take charge. Be the emperor that you are. Emperor. Interesting. Any case. That's what I was here to talk about. Somebody needed to hear that. And it's just another step in a lifelong healing process. We're always healing, but know that was just a tactic, not a tactic. That was a tactic that worked for me, to put my 7-year-old self next to myself. And, the divine knew I would step into action on my own 7-year-old behalf, not necessarily on my 43-year-old behalf, but 4 and 3 or 7. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not, but it doesn't matter. That's my tip. I hope you take it. I truly wish you peace. I hope you find healing. I hope this helped. And I'll be back with the next message that I feel you might need. But I've got love for you guys. So hang in there. Do your best. I wasn't so peppy today, but I'm in a good mood. I'm in a really good place. I'm about to go take a walk, run some errands, make the most of today. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, look, a little, I don't know what that was. In any case, have a beautiful day and understand that you control fear. Fear doesn't control you. And with that, rock on, guys. I'll talk to you soon.